Hey guys, DT here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a brand new episode of Clash Royale. Today's episode was inspired by a troll deck from Miss Ziggy. I will link you to her profile on Twitter and you can follow her. She also is a Clash Royale player, so this is the deck that Ziggy posted and said that she was able to get to some 2800 trophy range with that deck. So I thought, you know what, why don't I go ahead and give this a try in a friendly battle with D, and so we decided to go ahead and test that out. And we did 3 iterations. Dee did not have a few cards. She did not have a princess because we were trying to do the troll deck versus regular deck and then troll and troll. And that basically is what you're going to see right now. So I'm going to show you 3 games. These were recorded live, but I did not commentate because I really wanted to pay attention to the deck. The deck does not feature any of the tanks. There are 2 spells. There are arrows and the lightning, and there is an ice wizard and skeleton army, as well as a mega minion. So I was a little bit conflicted here and basically wanted to see how this would work, especially if you go ahead and take this against a regular player who is using their strongest deck possible. And what I've found out is that, well, first of all, I have not used a mortar in God knows how long because personally it is not one of my favorite cards. But I went ahead and decided to push with the mortar over on the left hand side over here and see how much damage I can do. Now Dee is using also her troll deck, but she replaced a few things because she did not have certain cards, so we tried to even that out so that the average cost of the elixir will be 3.4 elixir, and that's exactly what we had. And here she is also using her mortar. Her mortar was a bit higher level, but it's okay because eventually kind of the scale evens out because some of my other cards were actually high level. So over here I'm just rushing with my skeleton army, and none of them are going to make it to Dee's arena tower. And guys, I have to say that this deck is not my favorite. I'm gonna be completely honest. And after I played with D and I finished with the troll recording, I decided to go ahead and, you know, just play regularly, and I accidentally clicked out into a regular battle with this deck, and it was, well, it was kind of a crapshoot because I definitely got destroyed, but I actually was only I was able to get 1 crown, and then I got destroyed 2-1. So it was a little bit painful, but I can definitely see how you know, how this deck could be really interesting, especially if you kind of have the levels of the cards the same as Ziggy's levels were. A bunch of the cards that are in this deck I rarely use. I have not used the skeleton army in such a long time. I no longer use cannon because I switched to using Inferno Tower. I rarely use arrows, and I have not used a mortar since the mortar probably came out. So right now I can upgrade my mortar to level 9, but I'm not going to spend the gold just because I just don't use it. So I can see how it could be an A-OK deck. My lightning is only level 3. I know it can be quite powerful. Also, never use lightning. It is a pretty expensive spell. 6 elixir I think is a lot, but let's go ahead and just take a look at this over here. So my advantage here is hugely driven by the fact that I have an ice wizard. Dee does not have an ice wizard in her deck, so therefore it is a little bit more difficult for her to actually try and push the same way as I can. Now she did have her bomber tower, which is really quite great because you know, it has a lot of HP, and then of course pretty great radius. Ice Golem, guys, I am not a huge fan of Ice Golem. I am going to be 100% honest with you. I think the card is kind of I don't know. For 2 elixir, I would much rather have fire spirits than ice golem. I know total different mechanics, but that's just my personal opinion. So I once again very rarely use my ice golem. It is currently level 5. I also rarely get them, so that's just where that is. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the second battle over here, where I'm going to use the troll deck and Dee is going to use her regular deck. Now this deck has been working out for her really, really well. You may remember it from the previous video. This is her favorite Giant Witch Rage deck, so pretty powerful. And I'm gonna use my Lightning over there on the right. Took out the Musketeer, which is really awesome. Lightning obviously is expensive, so I did have a negative elixir trade there. I did cause a bit of a damage to the tower as well, but overall that was a negative elixir trade. So that is just kind of something that I had to do here. The deck is so hard with what D has because you know, I typically have my zap, no zap here, arrows, and then trying to throw the skeleton army to stop the witch and the giant when they raged up, especially when they have goblins with them, is really quite difficult. So at times I struggled to just kind of be like, okay, what do I put next? Because no matter what I have, D's deck is so strong. So I didn't think that it worked really well against D. I think I've said that I also accidentally clicked out and went and played a game against a regular person in a match, in a Supercell match, right? And didn't do oh so well, so I don't think I will be using this deck, but I do want to ask you guys to try this deck in your clan. If you're in my clan, try it with me. If you're in somebody else's clan, try it with your clan mates and see whether or not you're able to replicate the success that Ziggy was able to have with that deck. And do I wish over here I saved my lightning to use the lightning on both the witch and the giant. And once D rages up her combo over here, it is really just game over for me because the giant and the witch is just such a great combo. I tried to put my mortar over on the left hand side to get a few more hits into the tower, but she's using her really cheap card over there. She's using skeletons, a really inexpensive way to actually stop the mortar, and that of course worked out fantastic for her. I think D is going to get 2 crown over here because yeah, I'm pretty sure this was a 2-0 play. So basically a really challenging deck. I'm going to show to you one more game where we swapped the decks and D used her version of the Stroll deck and I used my regular deck, and you guys can see for yourself. But I do want you guys to take this challenge, bring it to your clan, and tell me whether or not you made this deck work and you think that there is hope for it. Also, I will tag Ziggy in this video, and if she's got some advice, I'm sure she'll give you some. She's really awesome, guys, too. So she streams a lot on Twitch. She's a great Clash Royale player, so go ahead and check her out as well. And she is my fellow Aussie Clash Royale lady tuber, so give her a shout out as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the final game. Here, I've done a few more iterations with D, but basically the overall gameplay and the mechanics were just the same, so I decided to only show you 3 and not take up any more of your time because you could be going ahead and trying this deck out for yourself, guys. Okay, so as I've mentioned, D did not have some of the cards that I have had to make the original deck, so she made a few replacements, and look at that lightning over there. I definitely caused quite a lot of damage to my Valkyrie, but the Valkyrie is still going to be able to make it and taking down the Ice Golem. Ice Golem actually, when exploding, look at that, can completely take out the princess. So my princess was taken out when the Ice Golem sort of exploded and released the ice waves or whatever. So actually pretty good way to distract the princess and take her out. Even elixir trade, actually no, not even, that would be a positive elixir trade because Ice Golem is 2 elixir and the princess is 3, so that would actually work out pretty well if your Ice Golem is a higher level, because I don't actually bother to upgrade mine. And look at that cannon taking down my princess on the left super quickly. But this is actually going to be a bit brutal because I have my Hog Rider and my Valkyrie and the Musketeer, which is of course obviously wonderful trifecta, and I'm also going to put my tank Giant in front, so this deck is not going to work out for D very well. But do let me know if it will work out for you, if you go ahead and accept the challenge and try it out. And if you guys do accept the challenge, I would love to see the screenshots from you on Twitter so I can see what level your cards are, because you know it does make a huge difference when you're when your skeleton army, well I guess with skeleton army not really, because it can be taken out with a zap or firebomb or arrows or anything, but if your mega minion is like level 7 or if your ice wizard is level 3, it does make a lot, it does make a huge difference. With mortar as well, my mortar is only level 7. When I was recording this, the first game was actually level 6, so it was actually even weaker. So let me know if you check this out. I would love to see how it works out for you, because as you can see, for D and I, it was not such a great deck. For Ziggy, of course, for Ziggy, on the other hand, it worked out really, really great. So let me know which one you will be, the loser or the winner, with using this very interesting deck with no tanks, no rushing cards, 2 spells, and 2 building cards in the deck. So thank you guys again for watching. I will see you in the next episode. Don't forget to smack a like button if you enjoyed this little fun challenge that I had with D, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye guys!